Boys and girls, welcome to Club Evil. I'm Evil Dick.
Evil Dick! Evil.
You're a devil in disguise is what you are. You're burning me on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they think that God gives a crap about what goes on in that house? And why do they think that he's going to part the Red Sea for them to the promised land? Didn't you watch last season? What they didn't show last season was me in the diary room praying to my God, Fred.
Like some young, tiny, small spaces. Evil Dick. These little gooey telltale.
Are you taking the cameras off of me?
Evil Dick.
Oh, and we're back. RTV Zone. Tonight, do you like my new glasses? I'm kind of on the fence about them. I saw them, like the black dude on Dexter last season. The preacher guy had these glasses. I really liked them. Then I found them on eBay. Without, like, actually even trying them on, I just bought them. I came from Scotland. So I'm kind of on the fence, but, hey. No comment from either one of you motherfuckers?
Hashtag things old people
Get
say.
LeBron James. And those,
Fuck you both.
No problem.
And tonight, we have recapping. We were supposed to have JoJo, not Joe, not Jody, but JoJo from Staten Island, New York, with a coffee. She's busy drinking a coffee, and she couldn't get her shit together. So we're gonna have her on tomorrow night. And instead, we have the one, the only James Ryan. The one, the only all-star. The only all-star amongst the bunch of us. You know, he was complaining before we went on that I put him on with, it's usually me, June, and James. And now he was complaining that it was with me, Hayden, and James, that he's the only loser whenever I have him on. But he's the only all-star. But he's the only all-star among the bunch of us. That's right. And we have a season 12 winner, one of the most deserving winners. This cannot be denied.
Thank you.
Hayden
the most
Moss,
forgettable
really.
winner of all.
I know. I said most deserving. I didn't say forgettable.
Yeah.
I said deserving.
You didn't say that yet, but you were going to get.
No. I always talk up you guys. This is no lie. I have all the respect in the world for the brigade. You guys were boring as hell, but only because you own the season. Am I wrong here, James?
Yeah, good point. Oh, no, of course. I mean, the shit they pulled on Matt, shit they pulled with Brittany, I mean, this stuff was all classic. It was awesome.
Oh,
Much appreciated.
I always mention the Britney thing just because it's so goddamn funny. And speaking of Britney and how she got played so hard on season 12, is Britney being set up to be played just as hard this season as she did season 12? Hayden, since you have experience playing Britney, what do you think?
You know what? It can go both ways. She can get played. What's that? Yeah, Lane's got the most experience
playing Britney, doesn't he?
No doubt about that. Yeah. It could go both ways. I mean, she could actually be in a good spot. Janelle goes home. Shane's obviously Shane has the biggest target out of her clique. I could see Britney making it 3 or 4 more weeks, and then in those 3 or 4 weeks, she could, develop further relationships with the Boogie or Dan. Who knows? But in the same token, she could absolutely get owned here in the next couple of weeks too.
The way that I saw it was she was really starting to warm up to Boogie. Oh, Boogie's so trustworthy. Blah 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 blah. And
right.
She's going to be. Her wonky eye is going to be even a little wonkier after she gets just spun so hard and goes out the door. Because Boogie's only going to be Boogie is only going to be loyal to Frank this season, right?
Yep, done deal.
Just like the Dr. Will, and I think he's also playing Dan. What do you think? What do you think about that, James? Do you think that Dan he's setting Dan up, or does Dan want to be Dr. Will so bad that he's begging to be set up?
See, that's tough because I don't watch the feed, so I'm not sure on the whole Dan and what his relationship is and how he feels about Boogie. I just know that when I was talking to Boogie beforehand, he stressed to me that Dan he thought was the most dangerous person, and that he didn't think Janelle was that much to mess with. My whole thing is, I think if let's say Will had gotten HOH, I think the plan would have been to try to backdoor Dan. He knew he had no chance to get rid of Dan with Danielle's HOH. Boogie's going for the coaches. He sees his strength with him and Frank together, and I think he's going to try to knock out the coaches, one by one, and it could be Dan next week. When Boogie found out that the house flipped on him and not one of the coaches told him, they wrote themselves off at that point. That is where the trust was broken, and Boogie will always go back to that. And if he backdoors Dan next week somehow, he's going to say, you guys fucked me with Frank. You weren't going to tell me. You made your bed. Now you got to fucking lie in it. Plain and simple.
Now, we were talking about this before we came on, while we were trying to get JoJo all hooked up here. And we were talking about how much Hayden hadn't come in, so we will have this discussion now. How fucked it was for production, for Big Brother, to let Shane play that HOH completely out, win the POV, then get all the way to all the campaigning and everything else, and they had this secret. Why am I'm at a loss for words here. What the fuck? They were going to. What's the word? Well, fucked up is a good word. But it was the blind side. This is the word I was looking for. This would have been the best blind side on Big Brother in literally years. Years. And they're just, and we're not going to have an eviction tonight. What a bunch of bullshit is that? Because here's the repercussions of that. With Boogie being pissed off, with Frank being pissed off, with who the fuck else was on the block? Ashley was on the block. Who was replaced? I can't remember. You have 4 people pissed off at Shane, and he didn't even get one person out of the goddamn house.
Right. And it blew up in Boogie's face. It blew up. Sorry, man. Go ahead, Hayden.
No, I'm just saying, like, when production pulls the rug out from under Shane like that, it puts him in the worst situation. Like you just said, he's got 4 people now immediately pissed at him. Not one person leaving, and then he doesn't win HOA. But the same, and here goes the next week, but he's lucky enough that Danielle does get the win in HOH and then wins POV. So it's almost this week is almost a redo in a sense, or it's like a mulligan. Production screwed. Karma, and at the end of the day, it's like, hey, this week, Shane ended up winning after all.
Nah, kind of, but he still didn't get out. Unless something happens, which when we were singing during the live episode, me and James here, there was word in the live feeds that people were changing their mind, that Janelle might stay. So, who knows? People start campaigning way too early. Go ahead, James.
What I thought was so screwed up about last week was, one, you talked about one of the greatest blindsides ever. That was set up. The game, everything about the game would have been different. Frank would have gone. Boogie would have realized that he was on his way out, that even the coaches turned on him. I mean, you essentially, not only did you didn't reset anything, you just took everything that people had worked for and said, this is not the storyline we want, so we're willing to end this. It's like they didn't, if Frank was gone, Boogie would have been pissed. Boogie would be going home this week because he would have gotten everybody's faces. You already saw how mad he was getting.
Without a doubt. Absolutely. I completely and totally agree with you.
And the season would be boring as fuck from CBS standards. Same reason they pulled that crazy-ass stupid veto comp when I wanted to bounce Chicken George to get him out of All-Stars, because it would have messed up their dynamic, and you lost that whole little focal point. It was completely bullshit. It is.
Right.
I feel bad for Shane and the shit that he had to go through, and if he's in there screaming and cursing at Allison, no problems with it. He should. You know what I mean?
No, I think he should too, but it's not happening because their excuse all the time is expect the unexpected. Well, this should be expect production to fuck you in the ass if things aren't going our way with ratings. Now look at, the worst was the coup d'etat with the coup de Jeff, I call it, from season 11.
Brutal. Jesse got
that was
hosed.
Such a Oh, Hose doesn't even start. Jesse was in such a great position that season. He had his bitches all in a line. He had Lydia and Natalie taking turns jacking him off up in the HOH. He had shit just dialed in. And they fucked him hard. And that was like a total bunch of bullshit. It's just gotten more and more blatant, without any regard to even trying to make it look like part of the game anymore, I think. Really. I mean, we're just not going to have an eviction tonight. And yes, we've given the three of the best players ever in the game and Brittany, a month pass or five eviction pass, into the game. It's just, I keep bitching about it, keep moaning about it. People are probably tired of hearing me bitch about it. But it's just so unfair to these people, the new people that are playing. Because little do they know, they have no shot.
Yeah, and CBS set that up in the beginning. I mean, you've seen how they set this cast up. It was so one of the mentors could win, barring any sort of like freak shit. But if Frank had gone home, Boogie would be going home this week, and the show would just tank ratings-wise. Or even who would want to watch it after that point? Obviously I wanted to see Janelle go far, but Janelle and Boogie were my picks, and Janelle's going home, and so I'm happy that this is working out for Boogie. But it's like, shit, I just don't like it when you have something this defining that is what made the game the way it is, as opposed to just played out through competition.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and played like a game should be played.
I gotta say tonight watching Boogie go up in the HOA and do work, because I didn't see Boogie's and I didn't see Janelle's season, just to be honest. And I'm really just kind of getting to know Boogie for the player that he is, and his back against the wall right now, and he goes up in the HOH room, convinces, hey, it's a good idea to backdoor Janelle, convinces Dan, and just kind of outshines everybody else. I was just like, props to Boogie. I respect him, and just because of that, because tonight's episode alone, I'm like pulling for Boogie now.
Oh, see, you got me on that. I'm not pulling for him, but he did play it hard, and he played it well. Do you think that Dan is starting to lose control of Danielle, where that was his little bitch that would do anything he said? Now, is it that, I know that they're not showing everything on the episodes, and I didn't see it on the feeds when it happened, but obviously Dan must have said something or let her or, pushed her in that way to nominate Janelle. But that all went to the one part where Janelle balked at putting up Joe or putting up Will. Lie your fucking ass off. Yes. Yeah. Get him on the block and then get other people to vote Frank out. I mean, come on. She's played this game twice.
Yep. Frank was supposed to go the week before. It would have been easy,
Yeah, I think so too. And, you're leaving the only two that are really, to coin the phrase from last season, a powerful duo is Frank and Boogie. Yep. They gotta be hanging out in the house. It has to be very clear to everyone. They're going into the goddamn diary room together. If people think that they're like jacking each other off, of course, the first thing that I would think seriously, dude, the first thing I would think if I saw Boogie and Frank going in the diary room and I was in that season, I would go, this motherfucker is doing these Chilltown DRs. Fuck this guy he's with. Let's get these motherfuckers out of here right now. Because I'm not going to be a victim of this diary room thing. And everybody, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Boogie pulled the curtain over their eyes. I mean, like you said earlier, Boogie kind of has Brittany now. Hey, Brittany trusts Boogie. She's going to keep him around as long as she can, kind of. And I think Janelle's going home tomorrow because of it. Props to Boogie.
We'll see what happens. There was, like I said, when we were during the show, people were coming into the ZingTube. They were tweeting, zinging. ZingTube.com, by the way. Go sign up. James is part of it. I'm part of it. And you should check it out, Hayden, where you can tweet live and it will go out per time zone so you're not spoiling for people. But when we were in there, somebody's like, oh, everything's changing. They're talking about keeping Janelle now. So Janelle, I don't see her. Do you even see her as a threat this season? Either one of you guys? James, what do you think? You played with her twice.
The thing about Janelle is that she's always been able to get a good group of people that are willing to, like, listen to her unconditionally. One of the things about All-Stars that Howie regretted was that when I was trying to get rid of Will and Boogie, Janelle was like, no, we need to keep them. We need to go after, you know, those huge threats like Diane. Howie and Kaser just fell.
I like your
Howie
face when you said that.
Well, I mean, because I was like, that's the dumbest fucking thing ever. Howie and Kaser fell in line with that. And this season, she wasn't able to get people to fall in step with whatever she said, no matter how insane it was. Like when I wanted to get rid of Maggie, she was like, no, Jen, it's personal in season 6. Well, fuck, you get rid of Maggie, you get rid of the person controlling our enemy alliance.
That's the
But
whole
everyone
key.
else fell in step. And Janelle couldn't get people in step with her, and I think that was her downfall because everyone just turned on her, and she had no one that was there to have her back unconditionally. And I think that made a big difference this time around.
Well, I think if she would have like hung out in the HOH with Brittany, catcalled and been catty and talked shit about everyone, her and Brittany would be best friends right now, and you know, she would be looking pretty good. Instead, Brittany always needs that. Remember the Monet? Hayden remembers her and Monet sitting in the lawn chairs in the backyard, away from everybody, talking shit about everybody else. Then when Monet left, Brittany didn't have anybody until that's when she latched on to Lane. Brittany always needs that person that she can, you know, be catty with. And she tried it with Janelle in the beginning. If Brittany's like this, if she's not going to talk shit with you about someone, she's going to talk shit with someone else about you. Okay? So now all of a sudden she's found Danny, and she hasn't left the motherfucking HOH bed. Not even the bedroom. She hasn't gotten out of motherfucking bed in like 5 days. Every time I turn on the feeds, this bitch is in bed. She thinks she's going to win. Didn't she learn from Willie? Didn't she learn from anybody in her season? Doesn't people realize that hanging out in the HOH doesn't help your game? Look at last season. You had Danielle and Kalia for 3 fucking weeks. Those two sat in the goddamn HOH and ate, you know, Kalia ate everything inside. I think the only time she came down was when they ran out of food and to take a shit. Oh, no, they have a bathroom up there. But, you know, it doesn't help your game. You don't see who's hanging out with who. You don't overhear anything. You don't walk in on people strategizing when they have that. You know the look. Both of you guys do. You walk in on somebody and they look at you like you just caught them masturbating. You know? And then the conversation stops and you're like, oh, I guess you guys were talking game. I'm sorry. Should I leave now?
Game talkers.
Well, the problem with that is
James.
that Brittany is in there as a mentor, but she doesn't get that aspect of the game. You know, she's in there and she feels comfortable in HOH. She knows she's not a threat right now. And to be honest, she's not on anyone's radar. If you look, no one has her on their radar whatsoever. Boogie and Dan would go after each other first before they went after Brittany. Most of the newbies are all going to go after somebody else before Brittany. Brittany is pretty sure she's in a good spot right now. She probably doesn't feel like she has to go out there and do this shit because she's like, who's going to come after me? You know what I mean?
That was my point earlier. I mean, she's in a Brittany's in a good spot. Like he said, you know, Dan and Boogie are going after each other. The newbies, half house is going to gun for Shane, the other half Frank, you know, Joe. It's kind of target. People get irritated with him. Brittany I think she's in a good spot. She's gonna be under the radar. She's gonna skate for at least a few more weeks, and then maybe she can catch that game. And again, I'm rooting for Brittany. I like her. She's a friend of mine. So hopefully she can make it far. How far? That's to be seen.
What the hell was that? I had something I was going to say, and now I'm distracted.
She's in a good position.
Oh, Brittany being in a good position. This is one thing. This was the point I was waiting to make. This is the one thing that I really liked about All-Stars. Okay? There came a point in the game in All-Stars where, who was the one that suggested? Was it Dr. Will? Said, you know, listen, you're coming after us, we're coming after you. Why don't we pick off the floaters, the hacks, and the people that don't even deserve to be here right now, and then we can just fight it out? James? Was that you?
Will was saying that too. He said that to anyone who was in power. You know, I mean, in season 6, we had the first 4 or 5 head of households. And so he was saying that to us. it was one of those things where Dr. Will had his talons in Janelle. So he pretty much, at that point, he was running shit from our alliance because then Janelle was doing what he wanted to do, and that's when I became the outcast because I'm like, man, if you fuckers are going to think that Diane is more dangerous than Dr. Will. And when they put Jace, when I put Jace up, I'm like, man, I told Jace, I'm like, shut your fucking mouth and you'll be fine this week. You're up against the greatest player in Big Brother history. But Jace decides he wants to throw furniture and shit and rearrange the backyard and throw temper tantrums. So, I mean, it's one of those things where...
I should have been on Survivor. I was much more cut out for that game than this game.
Yeah, man. Will knows his game. I told him in the house I thought Boogie was more dangerous than Will for the simple fact that Boogie can win competitions. And he's kind of, you don't expect everything that comes out of his mouth to be bullshit. I mean, Will could tell you it's Friday. Will could tell you it's Thursday on the live eviction show, and you're kind of like, this motherfucker telling the truth. So it's, I mean, it's one of those things. Boogie's dangerous, and when he's pissed, man, he's just ruthless, and you're seeing it all right now. He's no prisoners. No prisoners.
I just don't see Boogie as being the player that he thinks he is. I just don't. And when when he talks, I go back to season 2 when he starts talking, and it's like, dude, you sucked. There's no way you should have even been on All Stars. You were the fucking suckiest player, and there was a lot of sucky players on All Stars. James excluded, but Howie didn't deserve to be there. You know, and I know it. Kaser didn't deserve to be there. Chicken George didn't deserve to be there. Diane at least made the final 3. Allison at least went far in her season. Who else? Nokomis deserved to be there.
Nokomis deserved to be. Erica, I don't think deserved to be there. But then again, I mean, that was producer picks and all this other bullshit.
There was only one winner. There was one motherfucking winner in All Stars, and I always thought it was like a very weak cast for an All Stars. I thought it was kind of like a bullshit cast.
But what you have
and Boogie
now is
counting
Boogie
around that I won All Stars. It's like, so.
But you got to look this season. You have to look at who's in the house. And Boogie, with this demeanor that he has, especially in a line with a guy like Frank, he's setting himself up perfectly. Unless Dan flips the shit next week and gets rid of Boogie or Frank, those two are that dominant alliance. And I don't see, other than if they just by sheer numbers, everybody else gangs up on them, anyone stopping them. You know, it's not.
They've wanted Frank out of the house for the last 3 weeks now. Has he been on the block 3 weeks in a row?
The cat.
Yeah.
You know, this is it's kind of reminiscent of my season when we put up Jen and Kale 3 weeks in a row before finally sending Kale home on the 4th week or the 3rd week, or I don't even remember. But we had them both up on the block 3 times, 3 weeks consecutively, and then we would pull somebody down and backdoor somebody else, week after week after week. So, but you know, if they want you on the block and you're on the block that much, you're gonna go home eventually. You're not gonna outlive and outlast. You know, something's gonna happen eventually. You're gonna be up against somebody or whatever. So, I don't know. What do you think about this? Wait, what was the first 4 alliance? Was the Quack Pack?
Who gives a fuck about these stupid ass names? What do you guys think about the fact that everybody's scared to admit who they're voting out? You know, the fact that they won't tell Janelle. Do you like that blindside shit, or do you think that it's?
Well,
I don't personally. I think
they pulled people in the DR, and Allison, Rich, whoever, the interns, whoever's on the DR voice, told them they're not allowed to tell them. They only let them tell them, you know, they'll let them tell them when they want to, and when it's not good for the show, they'll tell everybody that they're not allowed to tell. Just like when you guys told Brittany, you guys weren't pulled into the DR. You guys were talking about it for a while. You know, and then you break the news to her. But they don't want it broken out, you know, that they don't want people telling Janelle. Why? Is she going to pull a willy on somebody and headbutt somebody?
But I mean, that's part of people's strategy.
If you're voting somebody out, I always told them straight up, hey, I'm voting you out, or hey, no, I got you, you know, you have my vote. You can use it as a strategy or not, but that's the way I look at it. It kind of sucks that, you know, they're not allowed.
But Plus, if she had a feeling or like really thought that she was going home, don't you think that she would get up and fucking start pounding and start really trying to wrangle some boats and stuff? She's kind of being complacent.
Well, and that's what I don't get, because Janelle knows. It's just like when I was on the block against Chicken George in All-Stars. I'm done. No one is going to keep me here over Chicken George. No one's going to keep Janelle in the house over anyone if she's on the block. She's too good of a player to keep. You have to get rid of them. And anyone that votes for her to stay is telling themselves, I don't want $500,000.
Right. I agree 100% they're retarded if they don't vote for that.
Oh, everyone hit mute just for a second. Hit your and then come right back. Are we good now? Okay. Go ahead. Finish that thought, Hayden.
Yeah, and I said early on, I mean, they have to get the coaches out first. If they don't target the coaches early, meaning, right now it's Janelle, Frank, then a coach is 100% guaranteed to win this game. So right now it's Janelle, Frank. If they don't vote Janelle out, I mean, they're making a mistake.
No, they just need to give the money to the coaches and let them split it up.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
how can these new people? How can any of these new people on any of these shows that they ever watch the motherfucking show? Anytime, okay, let me tell you. Step back. Rich Meehan, the number 2 EP on Big Brother, when they called me when I first showed up to go into sequester, he's like, "So what's your strategy? I know you've been thinking about it." I'm like, "Fuck yeah." I go, "Well, the thing right off the bat is the whole starstruck factor, because every time that they've ever brought anybody back on Survivor, on Big Brother, whatever it is, even when you guys just brought Jesse back, he wasn't targeted. Everybody was like swinging from his balls." I go, and I'm assuming that the same thing is going to happen, and I'm going to ride that until I figure I can ride that until like jury, and that's when I really got to start playing. To be honest with you.
That makes perfect sense.
Wouldn't you do the same if you guys were in a season with a bunch of new people? I mean, wouldn't that be like the strategy right off the bat?
You're going to use every advantage you can. I mean, if you can just skate in the dirt, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, you get into the part with jury, and then you start playing hard. You're already lined up with your alliance, and then you start hitting them. And by the time that they realize what the fuck is going on, it's too late, and the game's really over, and they don't even know it yet.
Hey, I'm gonna let somebody in and be right back.
Oh shit! I just feel like as a newbie.
Is this your bisexual roommate from Playboy?
No, man, I ain't got no damn roommate. I am I live by myself. I'm a grown-ass man. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Do you see him trying not to laugh when I said that shit?
Yeah. As a movie, if they don't target the coaches, they're ignorant because, you might start struggling a little bit. At the end of the day, you're there to win the game. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You're there to win the game. If you're not going to play hard and not, then you don't deserve to be there.
Well, that's kind of my problem with Ian. My problem with Ian is that, he's a nice guy, he's a nerd, he's socially awkward, he has some weird thing that he needs to, be busy with his hands or whatever he's doing in order to keep from doing, like, some kind of weird flinch or something. But, when it comes down to is, you're supposed to be there to win. And I feel like Ian is just there to have the Big Brother experience, and I'm going to experience. I want to be on Slop because I want the Big Brother experience. I want to be the dog. I don't want a Hawaiian vacation. God, no, I don't want a Hawaiian vacation. I want to be a dog on a leash and have to poop in the backyard. James, you have something to say about this? I can see it already.
I mean, that was something I couldn't believe.
Who does that?
That trip, first of all, that trip is something he could have used later on as a bargaining tool. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have done in past seasons. I just don't understand when you say I personally want to wear a fucking dog costume and be walked around on a leash over a trip to Hawaii. You are a stupid motherfucker. I'm sorry. There is something wrong with your wiring. You're just like,
I'm with you. It's Hawaii. Warm water, sandy beaches, Hawaii. I mean, luau's,
Exactly.
You're in a leash and a kennel in the backyard.
Here's the
I
deal,
wouldn't care
Ian.
if it was motherfucking Palm Springs. I would take that over wearing a goddamn dog suit, having to sleep. He had to sleep in that doghouse in the backyard, like overnight. And then he couldn't leave without somebody taking him on a leash and walking him to the bathroom or whatever. Really? I mean, come on.
Ian should have walked out at the end of the show. He takes that trip. He walks up to Kara and he's like, "Hey, you want to go to Hawaii with me?" He could have become a man, but instead, a dog.
I thought he was more into Ashley.
It doesn't matter. You ask
no
any
doubt
girl.
about that.
You know, I mean, shit. Who cares? I mean,
Somebody
Ashley
said
is in her own dog
somebody asked
costume
me
anyways all
about
season.
him and Ashley on Twitter, and I was like, Ian and Ashley. I go, she's being sued for $800,000 for backing out of an S&M video, and Ian's like, oh, you heard that right?
No, I didn't actually.
Wait,
I need to check that shit out. Just send me a link.
$800,000?
$800,000, yes. And
Wow.
Ian masturbates to the Sears catalog still. This is not a good combination. I'm just telling you.
Now, Dick, do you still actually get catalogs? Because I thought those shits were. I mean, every once in a while I get booked for one, and I'm just like, damn, what's wrong with? I mean, who still gets these suckers? Should be all online now.
I think the only thing that I've seen a catalog come through our place here is the IKEA. There's no bras that you could barely see the outline of nipples. When I was like 12 or 13, just like going to town on. And the Sports Illustrated swimsuit model edition was always a good one in my bedroom. I'll tell you that right now.
We are getting way off topic for this shit. We're way off topic.
Oh, you guys are afraid to admit it, are you? Okay,
Oh,
I
hell
like
no.
this. I like this veto competition. I like it. Because there's always an idiot. In season 9, it was Sheila going, "Did they took my $5,000?" Every season, somebody's bitching and pissed off that somebody takes a prize that they had. When anybody that even has a clue knows the last person to go is going to get the veto. The second to last person is either going to take the money of the trip, right? And nobody's going to, who stays with the dog suit? Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, I was expecting
That's
a little
big
bit
brother
more.
first, isn't it?
It has to be. Really, it has to be.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
but-
anything even similar to this, James?
No, we didn't get cool stuff like that. On season 6, we got a margarita party. With some watered down tequila shit.
And you took the margarita party and
No,
you
that was
ended up going
All-Stars.
home.
Man, those
that
buzzers
was
shits
All-Stars?
didn't work for dick. That was All Stars. That was the same week the buzzers didn't work for HOH, but they did for veto. Season 6 was they gave us margaritas when we had to make those piñatas, and Sarah stopped me from throwing all the tacos and margarita shit into the garbage. But yeah, we didn't get shit in season 6. That's when they still didn't have a budget, I guess.
I know we
Speaking
got
of
Hawaii
Sarah,
in 12.
Have you seen pictures of Sarah lately?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, dude. It's like the what the hell was the tire guy, the Dunlop, not the Dunlop,
Michelin.
the Michelin guy, the Pillsbury Doe girl. She's put on some weight, brother. Oh my God.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, well, like I said, I mean that was a long time ago in my past, and it was a little bit different back then. At least I got some DVDs. Remember the good stuff? I mean, Big Brother DVDs, But yeah, I saw that the other day, and I was like, all right, at least she's happy.
Yeah, she's fat and happy.
Now, anyone watching this, Dick said all those bad things, not me, so I don't want to see
listen,
weird postings and shit.
I think she's very nice. I only met her at my finale. She seemed very nice. I wasn't too overly impressed by her because she ended up fucking Mike that was on my season at
I
that
was
finale
like,
night.
please, because her and I were going through all these problems, and she was essentially one more uncalled for visit away from a restraining order. And all of a sudden, she starts talking to Mike, and I'm just like, oh, thank God. And then, I mean, then he ended up having. He was even going to move here for her. I thought they were going to be fucking perfect together, but nope.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
he'd come
had
here
no
a
idea.
couple times.
I figured that they
hung
never
out.
even I thought that they never even talked because he never
No.
talked on the season. I thought
Yeah.
that they were just going to have pretty babies or something. And that was it because there's no conversation, nothing upstairs.
No, he actually came here to Chicago a couple times. We all hung out. He was talking about moving here, and then for whatever reasons, things didn't work out. Yep.
I always thought Mike was a nice guy.
Mike is
most
a cool
people
guy.
didn't even talk to Mike on. Yeah, he didn't even talk to him on my season, but I thought he was a nice enough guy. He just happened to be in the wrong alliance, the wrong side of the house. So, but we all know how that goes, and that's one thing that I never have ever been able to understand on no matter what the fuck show it is. People crying when someone gets evicted, somebody gets booted off eliminated, whatever it is. Number one, they're not dying. Number two, if you're gonna win, don't they all gotta go?
Yep,
They all gotta
They
go.
don't get it.
So,
They don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, I'm going, one less motherfucker? Yeah. Why am I gonna cry? I'll see
I agree with you there.
You know?
Yeah, the only time
But
you
what it's
cry
like
is
in
if
the
you're
house,
thinking
I
you're
mean-
going to get a piece of ass in sequester and they get evicted before sequester. Then you have a reason to cry. But other than that, no reason to cry.
Hayden can relate. Hayden can relate with me on this one. How do you because I know it's had to have happened to you at some point or another. It's happened to me a number of times where people go, well, when you're in sequester, and I'm like, I've never been in a sequester, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Haven't been, yeah. No, I've gotten that question a few times, yeah. So what is sequester like, James? Tell me about it.
Well, sequester is like season 6. Sequester was great. You know, we were getting into fights every night. We were getting shit-faced every night. And All Stars, it was even better. I mean, Dick knows we snuck away one time. Danielle,
Yeah, I heard this
Dr.
story.
Will, Chicken George, and myself. We got drunk as hell. Ended up at a karaoke party, a karaoke bar. We were at a frat party doing beer chugging contests, and Chicken George was doing belly flops in the pool.
I
mean, we had
heard
a damn
Arnold
blast.
Shapiro was
Are
pissed
you
out of his
serious?
head.
Oh, I'm the reason
Yeah,
that we're the reason there's no more hard alcohol in sequester. We violated a lot of rules and a lot of different other shit, and we got threatened with a lot of stuff.
They snuck away.
That's awesome,
And
though.
they snuck away
Yeah.
out of sequester. They were loose in the wild, in public. And Arnold Shapiro, who was the #1 executive producer up until that was his last season, before Allison took over, actually went to the bar and had to threaten you guys to get you back into sequester house.
Oh no, it was we had one of our producers that was there that found us and was like, "You motherfuckers need to get in the van that we had." We got into a little bit of trouble for that. They threatened to take away our stipends and all sorts of other shit. But I mean, what are you going to do?
Wow.
You're going to get rid of the 3 most evil people at that time, and you know.
Oh,
and Chicken
besides the
George.
fact that you haven't voted yet. You take away my
Exactly.
stipend, fuck you, I'm not voting, I'm out of here. What are they going to do? You know?
So you just walked out the front door, walked down the street, called a cab.
No.
How'd that work?
We were at this golfing event. We were at this golfing event and at a golf course, and Howie played through with the producers, and the 4 of us were like, "Fuck this!" We went to a liquor store, bought a bunch of different liquors, put them all in our cooler, and just got shit faced on the golf course. And then we ended up driving through like all the houses that were there and used people's cell phones, and we're like, "We've been kidnapped by a CBS show." Just ended up at a frat party. I mean, all sorts of crazy, weird shit. And then we ended up at this karaoke bar close to the clubhouse singing "I've Got Friends in Low Places." Because somebody took a picture of us and it ended up on the local CBS affiliate. And
That is
needless to say,
awesome.
yeah, it was a fun time. I understand why CBS probably wanted to fucking cut our throats, but
Right.
I mean, it's just a good time. Can't complain, you know.
Dude,
Yeah.
and those
I
guys
will
are
never,
on All Stars.
ever, hold on. I will never, ever talk about what happened in Mexico. Ever. But let's just say that Mexico took Palm Springs to another level.
Now,
Another level.
if you don't know, Hayden, they used to put people down in Mexico for sequester, And then
Right.
what happened was there was a hurricane, and they had to evacuate everyone out of Mexico, and it just caused a big fucking headache and everything else. And then they stopped doing it after that season. But All-Star season, they fucked with production so hard. They would say, they're like, we want steak and lobster tonight, and we're all going to sit in the middle of the backyard and sing until we have our steak and lobster dinners. And they would do just that. And and they'd have to put the feeds out to fish. The feeds would be fish for hours, and everybody's complaining. They're like, all right, we'll give you your fucking steak and lobster. How awesome is that? Did it work?
They would threaten us. They would threaten us and say, well, we're not going to turn the feeds back on. And we're like we give a damn if the feeds are on. There was that one time where we all took our microphones off, and this was Boogie that led that charge. I mean, that guy is just a master at getting people to do what he wants. We all had our microphones off, and it was during my HOH week. We were supposed to have food by midnight, and we didn't. And the people in charge overnight were like, no, you'll get your food in the morning. And we're like, fuck this. Food restriction was over at midnight, and they ended up getting some sort of, it might have been In-N-Out burger that they brought in to us because we took all the microphones off, and there was like a little revolt because we're like, food restrictions over at midnight. We want our damn food. It was
it's awesome.
It was kind of funny. It was a good time back then.
Rebellion. That's
Until you won the
sick.
show with me, and you're like, damn.
We got to catch Hayden up on all of this stuff. Now, you know about the Jack Shack, right?
Yeah, I do know. I mean, I've heard about it. I've heard about it.
Now, James wasn't a participant in the Jack Shack.
Give me another 2 minutes.
But he did Skyper bait.
No face, can't prove it. Well, here's my advice for any house guest or anyone who's going to go on the show. They give you music every morning, correct? That's your time to do your shit. Music's on, the feeds can't be on. Do your thing right there. Set yourself up the night before, whatever you need. Put it on the sides, the rails of your bed. You're good. The music comes on. You're not on the feeds. You want to make a production out of it like some people, like Howie, go for it. But the music's on. You're safe. That's my advice.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, would they ever try to tip you off or anything with the music? Because they did on my season.
They played Stupid Girl the day Jennifer was going to put Kaser up instead of me. They played Stupid Girl in the morning.
See? They
suckers.
Okay, there was a couple times. There was one that we had the Cat Scratch Veto, which was the OTEV thing, all over again. But they played every song was by the Stray Cats, by Cat Stevens, by everything was every song had a cat in it or something like that. And then the morning that I was that I should have gone home, and after I saved Danielle, they were playing stuff like Oh Sweet Child of Mine, and one thing after another that just related to the whole situation. I'm in the backyard laughing my balls off, playing golf at 7 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is still bleary-eyed in bed, and I'm going, motherfuckers. So anyhow, you kind of read into little stuff, but then they give you a bunch of bullshit too that has nothing to do with anything. I remember.
Go ahead, Hayden.
Go ahead.
I think that's the thing is you read into the song and you look into it deeper than you really should because you know what the house is like. You get so paranoid counting flamingos and plates on the wall. And sometimes for us they would play music and some of the guests that were the super fans would say, hey, in the past sometimes songs would mean something. So I wake up in the morning, I would listen to what was playing and try to figure shit out, but it never meant a damn thing on our season.
But then, in my season, when the week that Jen was going home, Jen Johnson, if you guys did you end up friends with Jen, James? No, okay, I know Danielle did. As shocking as that was, even for me, that Danielle became friends with her at a certain point. But when she was going home, and it was for sure she was going home. Even after her little fit and all that stuff, and she got the penalty vote and all this other shit for eating on slop and all the rest of it. They were announcing these things there's 204 laps in the pool equal a mile.
Yeah.
you know, those stupid little facts. And she figured that if she did all of them, that she would like win some type of power. So she's in the pool and she's swimming back and forth. And I'm sitting there like smoking it up, making fun of her. And I'm like, 199. I'm like, wait, that's 200. How come there's not confetti coming down from the sky to congratulate her? And the doors open up and the clown comes out and gives her power. I'm like, you're just fucked. You're going home, bitch. So, yeah, there's a lot of those things that I find very amusing at times.
But I mean, you know how it is in there, man. You take everything the wrong way. You take everything's exaggerated. We found a flashlight left on the counter one day after we were locked down, and we went ape shit. We're like, oh my god, it's a clue. We're running all over the place trying to figure shit out, and then finally, when I think production's done laughing at us, they're like, oh, by the way, guys, we just left that in there on accident during, you know, when we were doing maintenance, and we're all like. Right.
Can you put it in one of the doggy doors in the wall for us, please? The one by the jacuzzi.
Yeah, go outside. You're gonna slide something up. You can see the hand.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man, so many crazy memories. So many crazy memories.
Without a doubt, it's definitely an experience that you're just never gonna forget. I mean, period. No. Who does that? You know, there's only how many people have gone in the house? It's 14 seasons. Was it average 13 house guests?
Well, then they cycle a motherfucker every year.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. So what the hell is 13 times 13? You know, we got 144.
It was 169 or something like that.
Yes, I'll take your word for it. Somewhere in there. So there's not very many people that have really experienced it, and you've been back twice. Hayden played it out all the way to the end. I played it out all the way to the end and got an extra weekend before I went home last season. And let me tell you, the second time around, you just don't really want to put up with the bullshit. Is it just me?
No, not at all.
Was it you too?
Not at all. Dude, you don't. I mean, first time around, production wants you to say something or they kind of lead you in different directions in the diary room. Second time, you're like, nah, I'm not saying that shit. I remember what you did to me last time. Eat a dick. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You just feel differently and you have less patience, especially if you know some of the people. Like, you know, going into All-Stars, having known everybody, I was like, I don't have any patience for this shit. I have alliances with all of you guys. You know, I got to figure out who I can get rid of and who I can't. So,
right. Exactly. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. And then it's like, well, you can't bring this shirt. And it's like, let me talk to fucking Allison. Are you kidding me? What do you mean you can't bring in that fucking shirt? I had that exact same motherfucking shirt on the last time. Don't fucking tell me. Where's the goddamn phone? You know, and I just just was not having it. And then the meal allowance while you're in sequester, dude, I'm like ordering the fuck up. I had like 3 shrimp cocktails, 2 steaks a night. They're like, Dick, you know, we have a limit. You can't. I'm like, fuck that bullshit. I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. I made them pay for me to get a haircut and a dye job before I went. When they flew me in from Colorado to California, I go, because they gave me like 2 days, like literally. They called me Sunday night and they wanted me on a plane on Tuesday. I go, I need a haircut and a dye job. I go, you guys are going to have to pay for it. I made them take me out to Beverly Hills. They had my stylist had to reserve the whole upstairs where Arnold Schwarzenegger gets his shit done at the same place on Cannon. And paid for my haircut, paid for the pizza, Mulberry Pizza across the street. If you're ever in Beverly Hills, that's where to go. Place is the shit. And yeah, I'm like, you guys have to pay for my haircut, this and that. I just wasn't putting up with it. The second time around, you'll find, well, maybe you won't find out, but maybe you'll find out, Hayden.
The thing about second time around towards gameplay
probably not.
is you never know. You realize the second time around that this is your last chance. Or even now these people, their third time. This is your last chance. You don't care about breaking your word. You don't care about doing this. You're going in there, and if somebody you think is fucking you, they could have been your best friend for the last 7 years outside the house. You were going to, cut their throat faster than you would have done to anyone. Because it is your only chance. You're not there to make friends. And, I mean, you saw that. I mean, I keep bringing this up with Boogie. You saw that. He realized people screwed him, and now he is on a rampage. And it's a tenacity that you can't fuck with. So, guys, I got to bounce. I've been here for an hour.
Yeah,
I got to bounce.
We're about ready to wrap this thing up anyhow. So let me get in one more question before you go. How did you like and how did you like Boogie, you like Janelle, how do you like the fact that Boogie went right in Janelle's face and said, I don't trust you, Janelle. I just don't trust you. Like in front of everybody. And how that meeting wrapped up. Oh, well, okay, I think I have some spaghetti on the stove now. I'll be going.
You know what? On a strictly gameplay basis, I thought that was a great move on Boogie's part because it automatically put Janelle in that defensive position where everybody, if somebody tells you you're a liar or they don't trust you and you can't immediately come back with something, yes, regardless of whether you're telling the truth or not, you are now the liar. And that, from what I saw, is what kind of sealed Janelle's fate. And unfortunately, I expected Janelle to just be like, she could have turned so many things around on Boogie. She could have brought up examples from All-Stars. She could have brought up anything, about how Boogie's the liar. He's the duplicitous one. But we didn't see that. And unfortunately, that is what sealed her fate. And I don't look at it like, they're both my friends. As long as they don't attack each other, let the better game player win, And unfortunately, it doesn't look like, Janelle's going to have much more time after tomorrow. So.
Janelle has never been the greatest strategist. We've talked about this before. Janelle has been a great competitor, but she hasn't been the greatest strategist, period. So,
and she had no one willing to play for her. Like, she had in the other seasons where people, like,
yes.
She put up Marcellus and sent out her best friend that season on All-Stars, and it was one of those things where.
Yeah, but doesn't she always turn on her gay? She always turns on her gay BFF. Like, did it in season 6 with Bo, did it in season 7 with Marcellus, and I'm still waiting, because Will hates her and is talking all kinds of shit about her. I was waiting for her to go and call him, what was she calling Bo?
Oh, Bo.
A male prostitute.
Male prostitute. That was still one. Hayden, if you ever just get really bored and have no life or become like quadriplegic and can't do shit but watch shit on YouTube, watch season 6.
Yes,
probably
very
one
good.
Of the best Big Brother seasons. And there's a fight between Bo and Janelle that is just epic.
And Janelle's drunk as shit. And she's like, you date older men. You date older men. It was
fucking priceless.
All right.
It was awesome.
Cool.
It was awesome.
All right,
guys,
so
yeah,
I'm gonna thank you for showing up. I'll wrap this up with Hayden. We'll talk for a little while longer, but I will see you. I'm not going to see you tomorrow for the Thursday eviction show. So we will see you a week from tomorrow. At the Thursday eviction show, and I will see you then. Unless something outstanding happens and you want to come on and talk about it, then I'll see you before. But
I
otherwise,
want to come back. I just have other obligations.
Yeah, I know. It's like that girl under the table right there.
Hayden, good seeing you, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, you too, man.
Now let you winners off while I go.
Peace out.
Later, man.
See you guys later.
And tomorrow, who the hell I thought we were having James on tomorrow, but we're having June on tomorrow. I believe I'm talking to Sam Simon tomorrow.
JoJo on tomorrow, right?
I'm having JoJo on tomorrow since she can't be on tonight. And Sam Simon, who was one of the creators of The Simpsons, who is a humongous Big Brother fan and has been wanting to do a recap with me for a while now. So I think it's going to happen tomorrow. I'll be talking to him and getting him set up with this conferencing software and so on and so forth, and hopefully have him on tomorrow night. And who the hell else? I got some other people's.
What happened to Kara tonight?
Sunday we're going to have Kara, and Sunday we also have Russell from season 11, the one that Jordan ran across the yard and chest bumped.
I was a fan of Russell, believe it or not. I liked him. 11.
Russell's a nice guy. I really like Russell. He's a really good guy. We've ended up hitting the town in L.A. a couple different times. One was on Halloween when he was dressed like a chicken, which was pretty funny. I was hosting a trashy lingerie Halloween costume party at the Key Club on Sunset, and he came out. It was a good time. Russell's a good guy. He'll be with us on Sunday. So make sure that you come. Kara will be there as well, and Jody, who was first out she was caught in the revolving door of the Big Brother front of the house where she was in and she was out. I didn't even think that she got to. Did she get to jump on 2 beds before she left?
I don't know. How awful that be? You go through that whole process and you're gone.
Dude, horrible.
I can't even imagine.
So uncool. So totally, completely uncool. To go through all of that bullshit, get so excited that you're on the show, then they do a backyard pick, and you're the last picked, number 1, which is bad enough, right?
Right.
I mean, you're the last one picked on national television. It's bad enough when you're a kid on the motherfucking schoolyard and you're the last one picked. You're like, you want to go kick rocks. It's embarrassing. But if you're on national television and you're the last one picked, that has to be the most horrible thing. And then she got to jump on 2 or 3 beds before Dan says, well, I have the Playboy Playmate of the Year, or 2006, and I have the hot nurse that has a name like mine. So we're going to get rid of you that I picked last. I didn't really want you anyway. I just got stuck with you. So, that would have to be not good. But she'll be with us on Sunday as well. And we'll be talking about all of these things and how she felt about them, which must have just been horrible. So I wanted to go back a couple of. First off, I'm going to ask Fetus, what time are we at? Are we close to an hour? Oh, okay, 4 minutes. So there's a couple things I want to talk about because I was sick. I'm still kind of sick after I came back from Florida, and I was supposed to do a recap on Sunday, but then I slipped on the steps and went down on my ass, boom, 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 on one of those where I hit the back of my head a little bit, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
wait, this was in Florida? In Orlando?
No, right after I came back. It was Sunday. So I didn't do a show last week. So I wanted to go over some of the things from the Sunday show that kind of stuck out. One of the things was how hard the producers fucked Shane, but we talked about that already.
We already hit that.
Let me look over some of my notes. Dan wants to be Dr. Will. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. Okay, remember the competition. The competition was very similar that in your season when Matt won, right? And then it was the same one as last season where my daughter Danielle won, where it looked like a skiing thing, where it's just a little place for your feet, a little place to hold on, and the whole wall rocks back and forth. And it was a pirate ship. Right. It was a pirate ship this year. I don't give a shit what it's decorated like. It was the same fucking thing. So this competition is made for, and Matt got kind of mad when I put this on Twitter, but I don't really give a fuck. The littlest girl in the house to win. Okay?
Clearly.
And I
mean, you have Ian, Brittany, and Danielle in the final 3.
Right. And who won last year? Danielle. Who won the year before? Matt. Matt. People because it's television and they haven't met Matt, how tall do you really think he is? 5'5"?
Yeah, right around there. 5'5", give or take an inch. I mean...
Yeah, 5'5", probably weighs about $120?
50, $140. Right, he's in that range, $140.
No, he can't be that much.
But he's, 140, 5'5", 140. I mean, you're right.
I don't know.
Maybe one...
I think
maybe 135.
But 5'5" short, dude. So anyhow, it's it's a competition for the littlest girl to win, and Matt's or somebody said, well, Matt won it, and I go, well, Matt's like the littlest girl with a penis. I go, he's built like the littlest girl, and Matt took some offense to that. I'm like, no offense, dude, but you're built like a girl with a penis. So, but this was made for the littlest girl to win. I called it like weeks and weeks ago on Twitter, saying that if it was a hanging one, which I thought it might be a hanging one, that it's going to be for the littlest girl to win. And then somebody said, well, what about the one like last year? And I said, well, that's the same thing. And who won? We have Danielle winning, which is like, she's the littlest girl there, her and Brittany. Ian just doesn't have the will to win. I just don't.
He doesn't. But you know what? It's working for him. It's working for him. You know it is. I mean,
but
he's gonna make it far in the game.
Is he there to win, or is he there to make jury and have the entire Big Brother experience? Because he won't have the entire experience if he doesn't go to the jury house.
Right. There's no doubt he's there for the experience. But being there for the experience and flying under the radar like he is, I mean, he could actually win the whole thing. It just depends, obviously, how far and who he would be sitting next to in the end. You know, you never know. You never know. Expect the unexpected, right?
No, that's like, diarrhea in the middle of church. I thought it was a fart and I shit in my pants. I'm sorry I was wearing white corduroys. That's a story from 1983, I think. Huntington Beach Pier, actually, when I shit my pants.
That's not.
But we'll tell that. I told this story in the house. Most people that are watching probably know that story. It was white Calvin Klein corduroys, by the way, and I don't wear underwear. And I went up to talk to a couple of girls with my buddy, and when they totally ignored us, like we weren't even there, we walked up to them, walked next to them. They didn't even like acknowledge we were there. So we walked like this and just kept going. As soon as we got together, like 5 feet in front of them, I ripped the biggest, gnarliest fart as like a fuck you and ended up shitting my pants.
Karma. That's what you get.
So I had to walk down to the end of the pier. I used both of my socks as toilet paper because there wasn't any. Then I took off my lavender polo sweater, wrapped it around my waist, went back to the car, and the whole thing smelled like shit the entire way home. My buddies with his head out the window. It was brutal. So, what the hell else? Oh, Shane and Danielle. Is this a showman's or is this a stockman's?
Well, Shane doesn't want anything to do with it until Danielle wins the HOH competition. And then he jumps up, lays on her, plants a kiss on her. I mean, he's playing the game, man. That's what it's about. So,
but this chick is like,
it was funny because
she's really crazy.
10 minutes earlier in the episode, they had Shane in the diary room saying he doesn't want a showman. He's bad for his game. And then as soon as she wins, he's on top of her, making out with water. It was great. Great.
So, at the end of her HOH, you don't see this going anywhere.
She's going again. It's funny.
Until she wins the POV and he's on the block.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So Shane, I don't see Shane as really having a strategy. I don't see him as like really forming any tight alliances. I think the tightest alliance in the house right now is Boogie and Frank. I don't see anybody like tight.
It's not close. That are, and it's two people, but they're gonna have each other's back. And if Frank comes off the block, I can see them actually doing well, going pretty far. And I like that. I mean, like I told you earlier, Boogie today can't open my eyes. He's going on me, and I've liked Frank once. So I mean, if they come off, they get tight, they go far, I'll be happy.
Well, we'll see. I'm not thrilled with anybody this season. I don't see Joe.
Hey,
what the hell is?
What's the deal with have you had Willie on here yet?
No, I decided that I was going to have Willie on, but I just decided that I'm just not down with people that quit. I'm not friends with Shima. I don't want anything to do with Shima. I think she's a total douchey loser. I can understand her being pissed. I can understand Willie being pissed. But you know what? There's times where shit just does not go your fucking way in the house. It just doesn't. And you don't just quit. I mean, what could he possibly have to say to me that's going to be like so enlightening that I have to bring this to my audience. It's going to be bullshit and excuses and.
I was just curious. You don't have to justify anything. I was just curious.
No, I'm just telling you what I was because I was thinking about it because I'm friends with Russell, friends with Brandon, and I even talked to Willie. I had Brandon gave him my number. He gave me a call. I talked to him. We were talking about having him on, and then I didn't call him back because I just decided that I didn't really want to. So Rob Cesternino from Survivor with Rob has a website. Rob has a podcast. Rob has Willie. You can go and just see Willie over there, but I'm just really not interested. So to be honest with you, that's about it.
Right.
Who do you like? You're liking Boogie and Frank this season?
Yeah, Boogie, Frank, and then obviously Brittany is like to win, but I like Boogie and Frank as players. I know. Yeah, you can judge me if you want, but Brittany, I would love to see Brittany win it.
I will shoot my television set and I'll take video of it, me smashing my 55-inch flat screen downstairs if she wins this thing. She doesn't even deserve to be back. Okay? She just doesn't. What's funny to me is so many people from your season think that they're coming back. It's almost like season 9. Every one of those motherfuckers on season 9 thought that they were going to be back like immediately. And I'm like, you guys have had the lowest rated season in the history of Big Brother. And that was before we had the drug dealer winner go to jail and his accomplice, Matt with the wiggy eye, go to jail. And, and all that other bullshit that came out. And they all thought that, they were all going to be on All Stars. And with your season, the people that deserve to come back haven't come back. And the people that haven't deserved to come back, Brittany got played harder than anybody ever in the game, and they bring her back. And Rachel, who was just annoying in your season, just annoying. I don't know why they brought her back, but they did.
But yes,
and
Brandon, she came back and she won.
She won because
I know.
Because I wasn't there. But I don't know. I don't give a fuck. If you give people... Look, Boogie won All-Stars his second time, but he didn't deserve to be there either. I think that them bringing some of these people back is fucking bullshit. Because there are people that deserve to come back much more. But and I know it's not about who deserves. It's about the audience. And they don't give a fuck if people are saying how much they love Jeff and Jordan, or if, you have 10,000 people a week writing Allison Grodner saying, I want Evil Dick off my fucking television set or I'm never watching again. As long as they're talking about you, that's all they give a shit about. And that's why they brought Rachel back. So, whatever. Anyhow, if anybody from that season deserved to go back, it was you. I've told you
much
this.
Much appreciated.
When we first talked, I told you this. And I don't think that there is another past house guest that is a bigger supporter of what you guys did with the brigade than me. I mean, I don't know anybody that talks you guys up like I do.
I see that, and hey, man, we appreciate it. I can tell you, I appreciate it. So that's cool. It's cool to hear that, come from you.
Well, it's just the truth, and I said it earlier in this episode tonight with James. You guys don't get the recognition because it was a fucking boring season. And I'm telling everybody else, if anybody else goes back from 12, it's going to be you. So Matt, Reagan, all the rest of you motherfuckers, you're not going back on there. They're not going to keep dipping into season 12, which was a very boring season. You guys have heard it 10 million times. But it was only boring because you guys owned it so well.
If you
owned it,
make it
you
look
owned
easy.
It. Yeah.
Easy is boring. You make it look easy.
That's right.
Boring.
The seasons that are exciting are the seasons that power flips back and forth from one side of the house to the other, to the other, to the other on a weekly basis, and you truly don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes it an exciting season, and it's been a while since we've had one of those. So you guys made it look easy.
Though, with this season, because weeks in a row they've tried to backdoor somebody, and that didn't happen once in our season. And I think it's kind of making it exciting. Even though ratings aren't good, I'm enjoying the season so far.
I would enjoy it more if they would actually let the backdoor happen.
Right. You got
and watch. I wanted to see Boogie's face, not even Frank's face. I wanted to see Boogie's face. Boogie, you would have been. It would have been silent in the room. Julie would have said with a vote of da-da-da to da-da-da-da, Frank, you are evicted. And as they're saying goodbye, you would hear and Boogie shitting his pants right there and then.
Yeah, Boogie would have flipped, no doubt. So,
and it would have been fun to watch. And it's very disappointing. But we're gonna end this. We're gonna call this an episode. Hayden, I want to thank you for coming. It was great having you where you could actually get a word in edgewise. This episode.
Appreciate it, man.
And I want to have you back again. I do like your insight, and you're fun to have on. So I hope you're down to do this another time. All right, and we'll have you again soon. So
cool.
Thanks for coming. And that's another episode of RTB Zone's Dick at Night. Peace out.
Thanks, guys. God bless.